Please welcome Sar-Strong and Leonarda Priore.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's so great to see you all here. It's wonderful to be back at Utica College. I can't remember when, maybe it was the year that I was here before in this similar place, I think.
Probably the same space.
Probably the same space. I remember people being over there and over here. And then I went off to New York City and stayed there for 20 some odd years. And now I'm back. And I'm so happy to be here with Sar-Strong. David, thank you so much, Mr. Moore, for inviting us. And we're going to split this afternoon's music up. And you have the first half will be our operatic portion. quella santa il volto. Pure da me non partasi, da me non partasi, senza un pietoso cor. No, I take questo rosario e le preghiere aduna. Io te lo porgo e cefalo ti porterà fortuna. Sulla tua testa vigili la mia benedizione. Sulla tua testa, sulla tua testa vigili la mia sulla tua testa vigili la mia Thank you. Tendresse a minute. I was lucky enough to play the role of Carmen some years ago, a few times, and I was just telling Dave and Sar that although I would not be cast as a Carmen anymore, it's a wonderful thing to get your head wrapped around the woman. And as the years progress, how I understand her better and in a different way, and understand a lot more about that girl. So enjoy. L'amour est un oiseau rebelle que nul ne peut apprivoiser. Et si bien on vent qu'on l'appelle, c'est lui qu'on vient de refuser. Il fait mon sobrielle, le voilà bien, l'autre c'était que je m'envière, le voilà dit, mais il me plaît. L'amour est enfant de Bohème, il n'a jamais connu des lois. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si je t'aime, prends garde à toi. Mais si je t'aime pas, si je t'aime, prends garde à toi. Mais si je t'aime, si je t'aime, prends garde à toi. L'oiseau que te croyant se prendre, bâtit de l'aile son volant. L'amour est long, toi tu peux attendre, tu ne l'attends, puis il est là. Tout sa vite, il vient s'en va, puis il revient. Tu crois le tenir, il te vide, tu crois le vite, il te tient. L'amour est enfant de Bohème, il n'a jamais connu de loi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si je t'aime, prends garde à toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Mais si je t'aime, mille las pastia. We make to slons and we, elle plaisir sont de deux, donc pour me tenir compagnie, je m'énumère un amoureux. Mon amoureux, il est au diable, je l'ai mis à la bouteille, mon pauvre être inconsolable, mon cœur est libre comme l'air. J'ai des glances à la douzaine, mais ce ne sont pas à mon gré. Voici les peines de l'ancienne qui veut m'aimer. Je l'aimerai, qui veut mon âme, elle est au prendre. Vous arrivez sans moment, je n'ai guère le temps d'attendre, car avec mon nouvel amour, prêté rampant de Séville, chez mon ami Las Bastia, si non lo sigue di amore di Manzanilla. Tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la. She's fun. And now we lighten it up a little bit for you.
And in English.
And in English, I know. I'll even understand myself. Hold on just a second. I don't need it for this one. That's a beautiful Kurt Weill song, and he's got some beautiful songs, and there's not an awful lot that I do of his, but that one came to me a long time ago, and it just always was so touching. I just couldn't take it out of my repertoire, as they say. So now David has told me how to do this, and I think I hit select, maybe, David?
Button.
There's one that says mute. Let me see if that's
Not that.
Not that one. Well, I've turned the other one. I've touched the other one, and I'm not getting it. Oops.
Let's see. We will try.
David, we need you. Anyway, while they're figuring that out, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this.
Oh,
This
the
next-
left one. That's
left one?
mute.
It says mute.
Oh, okay.
No, it's on. Use the left one.
Use-
Hold it
Talk
firmly.
into this and see if it.
Hello.
Yes. Thank you.
This next one is from a Broadway musical, which you may actually, I think you'll all recognize it. Very appropriate to the days and times that we're living in now. Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, appropriate to now. It's like one step at a time. Now this one, I'm dedicating to this young lady up here in the front row here, Miss Mary Murphy. Mary is a wonderful pianist and also a just gorgeous artist. And I'm sure that if, I know that most of you must have seen her work here, there, and everywhere. But Mary's beautiful portraits are usually, even though she says she does some of the people and everything, there's really a lot that are landscapes and a lot of flowers that just bring me such peace. I told her that when I saw her last week. And this song was written by Ben Moore, who is also an artist, and the son of Joanna Moore, who was the first Carmen I ever saw. They're going to be doing a very beautiful orchestral concert in her memory in October at Hamilton, I'm not sure.
Clinton
Clinton
High School.
High School.
October 2nd,
I think it's October 2nd, so look that up. October 3rd. Thank you, Kathy. But Mary, this one goes out to you. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you. We're actually going, Chelsea Opera, which is my opera company, is hoping to produce one of Ben Moore's dramatic pieces. It doesn't have, it's not musical, but we're pairing it with the opera by Tom Cipulo. We were supposed to do it in March of last year, and guess what? Nothing happened. So maybe we'll bring at least that section up to Utica and share it with all of you. Mary, this is that was one of the ones that I had told you about.
You,
Mary and I were discussing at our B-Sharp dinner last week songs that we wanted to consider at the end of our days. And she's not Italian. Italians talk about death all the time. It's like, this is what I want at my funeral, you know? But for some reason, Mary and I were talking about that, and I told her I'm going to do some songs that I think you might consider, although she's got one already picked, and I think it's beautiful. But don't go too soon now, Mary.
I would add to that another funny thing. I happen to think there's a book that somebody gave me of cartoons and sayings by Roz Chast. And the front cover shows this really obviously very particular looking older lady sitting in her chair. And she's talking to her daughter and she says, "Why don't you just write my obituary now so I can proofread it and make sure you say the right thing?"
I guess those things are not far from all of our brains, you know? But it's not a bad thing. We're still here. We're still perking. Well, anyway.
And music will help all that.
Music does help all of that. And, you know, it's a funny thing because people ask me, I never went to music school. And that's kind of a little bit obvious on some occasions, but I did get a lot of this man can follow me anywhere, but anyway, it's my voice, it's my heart voice, if that makes any sense. I can't write music, but when I hear a melody or words or things like that that speak to me, it's my voice, so someone helps me, and this is how I've gotten through most of my life, along with friends and relatives and all those good things. So, we want to thank you all for coming, and we hope that you'll be back for all of the rest of the programs. This is a wonderful thing that keeps happening here at Utica College, and keep your eyes open for other musical events that are going to be live performances as well as whatever else we have going on. There's more coming, and we'll keep everybody safe, and it'll be good for all of us. Beyond the sea, the sun descends. Cool evening lingers, a shadow bends. High above, two ravens call across the distant valley. Echoes rise and fall. The waiting ship far down below will sound the signal to leave, I know.
Thank you all for coming. Be safe. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.